Viking fans, welcome to tonight's episode, season 5, episode 17, the most terrible thing. And shit is finally happening in Iceland.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Good evening, Viking fans. Welcome to tonight's episode. We are here ready to talk Vikings with you guys. Myself and Al over here. My name is Yaku. This
Everybody,
guy.
Algie, what up?
We're in the middle. Camera over here looking at you guys. You guys get this broad view. We've got Vikings in the background. And we are ready to jump right into this. Once again, if you guys are on the live chat tonight, thank you so much. Welcome. You guys are blowing it up. Mark has been waiting for us. Dude, we are here. Relax. We are with you. Megan, I see you. Lollipop Cool. Adriatni is here. Welcome, everybody. If you have any comments, any suggestions, anything like that, throw it in the comments. We are looking at it. And we will call you guys out.
Bam.
Right?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So Alice, like, stop talking, Yaku, and let's just get to this freaking show right now. All right. So let's start off with this episode. Overall thoughts. What do you think?
I enjoyed the episode. No big battles, but definitely some gut-wrenching moments, and and we're gonna get into all that stuff.
We're gonna get into it. No big battles, but really some mental battles all over the place, and it's very personal. A big battle is like gore. It's got really personal in this episode. So I think we'll start it off with, and I forgot what I wanted to do. I think I said York. Let's start it off with York. It's kind of a short one. We'll end it off with Iceland, because Iceland is the good stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right. That shit just went wild, finally. Let's start with York. So Bjorn is training these Vikings. He's getting ready to go to Kattegat. Right? Mm-hmm. He wants to sail immediately. He's got things getting ready, but I feel like he's like struggling with King Harold here a little bit, because I feel like he sees King Harold eyeing his woman.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be an issue. It's definitely interesting dynamic, and her name, man, Gunhild. We'll get into her, but man, she's definitely real slippery. She's definitely using the power of the P.
Power of the P is being used in this moment. So let's just talk about this whole situation here. So first of all, she's out there kicking ass on the battlefield, like just showing left and right. And my wife even called this out. She said that there's so many female characters, that is powerful in this whole season, which is awesome. And right? Yeah. Yes. Where's the cheers on the live chat? That's awesome. And so she's just kicking ass there. She's like beating people up, and King Harold likes it because he calls it out. Right?
Yeah.
He loves it.
He loves, I mean, and what's not to like, and the funny thing is we know that they had that kind of like interesting rapport when she dropped that like flirt bomb with him, before they went into battle before, like,
She did.
Yeah, she was like, you're gonna, you will be married again, and I don't know, man, she's you got to keep an eye on her.
Okay, well, you keeping an eye on it, and that's what, exactly, and that's what I asked in the live chat before we even started here. I was talking to the guys in the live chat, and I asked, like, is she playing both sides? Is she, and Aria or Davis is saying she's a double agent. So what do you think?
I agree 100%. Even when Bjorn was kind of talking to her, and he was honest. He was like, I'm not sure if I love you. I think I do. Maybe I do. But she was so non-committal the whole time. She wouldn't just say, I love you or I love Harold.
She wanted him to say it to him.
There you go.
Right?
She wanted him to say it first.
She wanted him to say it first. So before we get into the slippery part, before we get to this, because the scene ends with York as basically the, Harold and Gunhild versus Bjorn and Gunhild. So before we get there, Bjorn is super anxious to get to Kattegat. So he wants to attack when people aren't expecting it. So I'm guessing it's winter, and there's storms on the English Channel, and some shit's going down there. Right?
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm glad there's that tension there, because sometimes I feel like things have been too easy, at least for Bjorn. He got back really easy. They accepted him really easy. Are they supposed to just drop everything and attack right when he wants to attack? He doesn't have a whole lot of leverage. So I think it's good that Harold's like kind of like making him earn it, make him wait a little bit.
I like that. He's making him wait a little bit, but he's also sweetening the deal, saying like, listen, my proposal before this was with your brother, saying like, well, if Ivar dies, then I become king. And Bjorn is like, well, yeah, we'll just keep the same thing. But that's why I said it's like, yeah, it's easy for you to say Bjorn because you don't know what's going to happen in the next 20 years. He's basically agreeing with Bjorn at that second. And tomorrow he's killing King Harald. So it's like, yeah, you swear in your arm ring, and then he would swear on his wife, his to-be wife, which is where all this tension between Gunhild, Harald, and Bjorn, the triangle.
And my first thing is like, Harold's in love with Gunhild so much, he might be trying to kill, Bjorn, next time he turns his back.
Well, we know that's not going to happen. It can't, because then the show's over. So Bjorn is a legend. Somebody called it out earlier saying like Bjorn is acting really improved throughout the seasons, is what someone said here, and that he will definitely stay till the end, which I hope he does.
They've definitely given him more depth as a character.
Absolutely. So now they're getting ready. King Harald's like, cool, you'll have your ships. We are sailing to Kattegat, and we will attack Ivar, and I will be king if you die. Cool. Now the whole triangle situation, right? So Gunhild is talking to Harald. She's like, okay, listen, do you still want to be king of the all of Norway? It's like, obviously yes. Well, it's like, well, I want to be queen. And she also mentioned saying like, no man will ever claim me.
Wow.
Right?
That powerful, very important words.
Exactly. And so because she says that, I'm thinking like, yeah, she is a double agent, but she's not a... Okay, so what does a double agent mean? It's like you need to lean like towards either the one side or the other side. My instinct is telling me she's leaning towards her side. Like she's not on the left or the right.
Yeah, she's all about herself.
She's all about herself. She's waiting for the perfect moment. Which leads into her talking to Bjorn. And this was kind of a beautiful scene. I don't think if you've seen it, and call it out in the live chat, please. Bjorn started crying. Yeah. Like I literally pointed on his face. He was like a teenage boy.
He was, and he was truly vulnerable. And at that time, he was alone, because it's not just that he's alone with her and bearing his feelings. He's over there in Harold's army within them as a guest. He doesn't have an army. So this is the first time like he truly is alone. So I think that it takes a big man to kind of say it. Maybe
you
most
think
people...
he's alone because he doesn't have an army. He's all alone. He doesn't have his brothers or family. And he's falling for this girl. And Megan is saying it in the live chat. Megan is saying King Harald fell so hard, so fast for this girl. And he did, right?
Yeah, he did.
But so did Bjorn.
So did Bjorn. I think, and the fact that, I knew she was trouble once she was still entertaining Harald, because I thought once she ended up with Bjorn, that was pretty much going to be it. But the fact that, I guess, she was intrigued by the fact that, I don't know, that Harald is still, the acting king, and that he's still pining for her. Who wouldn't love that? Who wouldn't love that if, like, the acting king was still pining over you, even though you have another guy you're supposedly claimed to? Yeah, of course she would love it.
And not just another guy, but one of the most... But she said it, the most famous person in the world. So she is just all up in there, famous.
She's loving it.
I want to call out here Emily Edwards saying, hey, everybody. And she said also that this episode was boring, completely boring. You know what, Emily? I got the same vibe. Yes, we didn't have any big battle scenes or anything like that. But like we always say, James has said it before as well, we kind of need these episodes to kind of just tie the knots together and connect everything. So we kind of have to like just... do our part, watch it, and see it through, and then the next 3 episodes will hopefully be epic, because there's a lot of things that...
Yeah, we're laying the groundwork for a lot of stuff. Oh my God,
we're laying the groundwork so thick, and it's going to be amazing. Cool. And so, yeah, he's in love, and that's about it. Is there anything else happening in York?
That sounds like you nailed it to me.
One last thing from York, which I think is very important, is the Bjorn calling it, I am afraid. Bjorn Ironside saying that I am afraid, and then she even said, like, the most famous person in the world is saying, I didn't expect you to say that, nor did I.
And I think that, and thank goodness she was finally able to like somewhat reciprocate, or at least acknowledge that. She just wanted, here's the most famous man in the world. And like you said, she wanted him to be vulnerable to her, which he did. Not only was he scared, not only had to say, I love you. Basically, I thought he was going to start crying, getting on his knees. I don't know. Clacking together.
Almost.
Yeah. But he laid it all bare. So, I mean, a good woman, she wants, she basically got down to his essence. And I think, and actually, I think there's something to be said for a man who can admit his humility and where he's at in life without necessarily always having to put on airs. So that's I think that's being right-sized.
Right-sized is exactly what it is. And it's also like his authentic self. So if Bjorn Ironside is going to say, I love you, which he did say, and start crying, I mean, that is like, you don't get any more real than that. So what I want to know from you, Al, and I want to know from you guys in the live chat right now is, after you've both seen both sides, you've seen Gunhild with King Harald, you've seen Gunhild with Bjorn, after she has experienced both of those sides, which side is she going to fall to? Like, which side is she going to pick? Let me know in the comments. We can call it out. What do you think?
Oh man, she's playing the long game. It's too early to tell. I don't think she knows. She's still hedging her bets.
So you don't think she knows? I think that she is. She literally did her research. She went to the one. What am I going to get there? What am I going to get with the other one? Sure. And I mean, you can get, the one is fame, the one is queendom, the other one is true love. So now you just have to ask you what she wants.
There you go.
All right, so let's see. So that's it for York. I'll call it out if you guys let me know which side you think Gunhild is going to fall to. Let's go to Kattegat, because York and Kattegat is kind of intertwined, right? Because they're talking about attacking Kattegat the whole time. They're sending their army towards Kattegat, and there's a lot of other things happening in Kattegat as well at this point.
Yeah, Ivar's consolidating his power, man. He doesn't miss a beat, you know.
He doesn't miss a beat. He doesn't miss a beat. You know what? I think he missed a few beats in this in this one scene. I agree with you, Al, very much. I agree with you. But I do think he missed a few beats in this one scene. Well, maybe we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's start in the beginning of Kattegat, because I think that's a very pivotal point. By the way, guys, thank you so much for you guys in the live chat. If you are listening to us on iTunes, make sure to give us a 5 stars. Make sure to give us a comment there. If you guys are in the live chat, even if you're not watching this live, you can, you're watching this afterwards, tomorrow, whatnot. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment down in the section. We always read through the comments. We have such amazing fans, and you guys really gave us some love in the previous episode, and I really thank you for that. So thank you very much. No cheers, Steve? Yay!
There we go.
And I would be amiss if Steve, you should really fire me, because I'm really doing such a poor job at hosting this show.
You're kicking butt, man.
I didn't even introduce you. So Steve, say hi to the people.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Steve's the God's eye voice, God voice.
Steve is the voice of God, making sound effects, giving his comment now and again on what he thinks about the show. So hi, Steve, and thank you for doing such a great job in running the show.
Carry on, guys.
Thank you very much. Here we got the green light. So, all right. So Kattegat, Ivar, he wants to change the rules. So he has a huge spiel. Everybody can vote on everything. We have certain people to vote on certain aspects of all of it. But why is he doing that? Like, why is he making such a point of that?
Obviously, he's doing the quote benevolent dictator. I do this because I care for you. I don't want you to have to worry about all those burdens and worry about those laws and voting. I'll take care of it. Me and my people in a trust. If you don't, you worry your pretty little head. Just the thing is he knows that I'll take care of you, but you must let me know who's against me. That's the thing.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, and I like how at that point he's just setting the ambiance and dimming the lights.
Yeah.
And he's like giving the signal, and then all his like posse is like just
you notice that, right?
dimming the lights, and now
and like the background changed and everything.
And he's sitting there like a storyteller, and he's like, all right, so this is what's going to happen. Everybody listen up, okay? All right. I like that. And he goes into like people, telling everybody and whisperings that I'm the enemy, and so I think things are getting to him. I think his brother's obviously getting to him, and we saw that in this episode.
You know what the seer said, one interesting thing before Ivar killed him. He said, Ivar, you have a snake in your mind, literally, and you and I were both looking at that later on when he left that trail of the snake. I don't want to spoil the lead, but the point is, I think he's definitely, whether you call him possessed, demon, or borderline personality, but he's definitely on the edge. He's on that other end right now. He's beyond reason at this point.
He's beyond reason. He's just damn right out crazy.
Yeah.
Right. He is just, but he gets real here. So he's talking to everybody. He's like, we need to figure out who is against me, because you want me to crush everybody. Like, yes, he's riling up his crowd. He's getting his fans. He's a great speech. He's a great talker. He knows what the people wants to hear, and he tells them exactly that, and he changes their minds in an instant. These guys are, hail Ivar, hail Odin, hail Ivar. Okay, so he's got them all around their pinky, right? Now he's alone in the room with Freydis, and so Well, okay, so now what happens?
Freydis is. She says, "Well, she puts when he opens up about what should I do with my brother, and that's always, we're always wondering what's going to happen with Hvitsek. He's like, he's going to let him just wander around and be a thorn in his side and constantly question his authority. And then she makes a good question. She says, "Well, do you want to be a king who's loved or a king who's feared?" And I would have thought Ivar had no doubt he'd rather be feared, but she's I guess. Her putting that out there, I guess, is making him probably open to the fact that, maybe Ivar can finally be loved. He's always wanted to be loved.
That's all he wanted.
He's always wanted to be loved.
He said it in the previous
episode,
or in the two ago. He said, all I wanted was to be loved.
All he wanted to be loved. So the fear, making people fear him, I think, is easy, and I think I think she's definitely tapped into something. That's something he's always wanted.
Well,
we'll see how.
He said, she asked him, and he said, I don't know, because I think he's listening to reason. And so I thought it was good advice. I mean, it is good advice. But and so who said it here? Is messing with someone is messing with. Who said someone is messing with her head? I can't wait for Hvitsek to break away from Ivar. His wife is messing with his head. As Davis said that. So I mean, first of all, in this scene, we're saying he's crazy, completely off the trails. But at this scene, he's like lying on his side. And he's like really like in thought. He's really thinking, like he's contemplating.
Right.
He's looking back.
Right.
And so it's like once again a really real moment that he's having. It's like they hate me. My brother hates me.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think let's clarify. I think you are on the same page that while we've been calling Ivar crazy loosely, he's crazy like a fox. He's not so far crazy that he's not able to ascertain reality and see what's going on.
Well, he thinks he's a god.
Yeah, he thinks he's a god, but he does realize that if I kill my brother, then the people will hate me, and Freydis reminds him of that. So he's still able to debate a little bit of reason.
It's interesting you say that, because in the beginning he said, well, if I burn my brother, if I kill my own brother, then there would be no doubt for people like who would stand up against me.
True.
Was his first thought, and that's the kind of, do you want people to fear or love you? So that's the fear kind, right?
Yeah.
And then Freydis were like, okay, well, but fear versus love. And then obviously he's like, I don't know. Like, because my instinct's telling me like this guy wants the fear. She's telling love. And he is obviously going to listen to, like we've seen now already, going to listen to anything that she says. And so he's picking that side.
And I think that, and that's actually like a good solution. I was surprised though. I mean, are we going to talk about that scene where Ivar makes the offer to?
Yeah, that's happens
okay,
next.
so that's right now. Yeah, so when he snakes on in, and I'm surprised. I mean, he definitely literally snakes on in, like leaves the trail of a snake. And that, to me, that harkens back to just the seer comparing him to his skull as a snake, and he has a snake in his brain. But it harkens to the fact that when he threatened to kill his wife Thor, when he said, "If you don't go, I'll kill Thor." The funny thing is, my first instinct was, why doesn't he take Thor with him? But you think it's a good thing that he doesn't take Thor with him. You think she's not good for him. You've been saying something.
I thought the exact same thing. When he was saying goodbye to her, my first thought was like, why would you not go with? Maybe it's not professional. Maybe it's not good on the resume.
Or maybe Ivar's not even offering that. Maybe he's kind of, who knows?
Yeah.
He's holding a hostage.
Maybe he's holding a hostage or something. Like, otherwise he might just run away. But it's, who knows what's going to happen. And so you guys are giving so many comments. I can't even keep up. I'm just going to move on because I can't. There's so many comments.
Let's move on.
You guys are fast. I'm not as quick as that. So but okay, so where do we draw the line here with merciful versus feared, right?
Yeah.
Look, I don't want you to be alone. I want you to have a place. I love you. You're my brother. And so I want you to advocate for me and, go cement with our allies. But if you don't go, I'm going to burn your wife. So Are we on the loving part here, or are we on the fearing part?
Yeah, and it's kind of, and I think it's actually a good thing. So like they both know where each other stands, because it really wasn't. To me, it always seemed weird to have Hvitsek kind of like wandering around outside the circle, like, yeah, you're not really a god, and just kind of like being this voice of dissent. Like, how long is Ivar going to take that? And then plus, how long could Hvitsek do that productively? I don't think he would feel good. So I'd like to see. Well, I actually cheated and looked at the preview, but I like the fact that he's getting to venture out and do something else.
Do something else, yeah. It's when he is leaving, and so he's taking his fate a little bit in his own hands, and can. And so hopefully that happens. Mark Walling is saying, Ivar can't wait till Bjorn takes him out. I'm sick of Ivar. And so I think, I don't know, what do you think? Like, are we over Ivar? Or is
not-
he
Ivar-
really good? Is he really good though? And he's acting like he's so good at what he does. Like we hate him, and that's what we all need to do.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, he's been such. We've been seeing like the wheels in his head turn so much, and he's been holding on the power and tightening on power and tightening on power. He's been kind of like one note. So this is the first time we've kind of like seen him have a little bit more nuance. Like maybe I'd like to be loved, and he didn't really think about it. It was just Frey just threw that out there. So yeah, I'd like to see some more nuance in his character. I'd like to see another side to him, and perhaps we will get to see maybe more of the benevolent side.
Because we have only seen one side, and that is once again, like we said, the crazy ass side.
Yeah.
God, and then he, I think it was so great, that slithering trail. Yeah. Like he didn't go on his crutches. Maybe he wanted to be quiet, but just like the whole snake in the brain. He's sneaky. He's slithering around. He's like, he's just acting like a snake.
So creepy, man.
Snake was my nickname in university.
Really? Is that you, man? Uh-oh, we gotta keep an eye on
No,
you.
it's not me. I'm just saying it's kind of weird just to
Okay.
snake. Jake the snake. Anyway, no here, no there, right? Let's move on. All right, so at this point, Thora and Hvitsek they're gone. So Hvitsek is saying bye, and he's making sure he tells her, like, and this is why I wondered why you didn't, take her with. It's like, be careful of Ivar, because I can tell you that Ivar is to the point in his mind where he will still burn her, even though Hvitsek has left.
Yeah, like what's keeping
Like,
her?
give me the odds out of 10.
I mean,
of
the
10.
thing is, I just don't think he doesn't have a reason to. I think he would like to kind of save her, kind of like she's basically a hostage. You know what I mean? So if Hvitsek ever does anything wrong, then he can hurt her, he can kill her. So I don't think he will. He has nothing to gain from it at this point. We know he's sadistic, but he's not that far gone where he can't see that it's a good play to keep her.
Got you. Ara saying, do you think Ivar has a suspicion that Hvitsek might try to revolt against him with the other Earl he sent him to treaty with? Do you think so?
I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't. Ivar, being as shrewd as he is, he has to consider that. He has to know that when he's letting him out the fold, that's a possibility. So.
Well, you know what comes to mind, and we're moving on now because that's the end of the Kattegat sign, and we're going to Wessex, and just to connect Kattegat and Wessex together. In the beginning, Judith said, like, as a king, you have to be brutal. You have to do the most foul things to stay in power, to protect yourself. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening in Kattegat. But Ivar, the easy thing would have been to kill Hvitsek. That would have been the kingly thing to do, according to Judith, probably.
Yeah, but I will say this, though. He would have definitely been ruling out of fear, and there definitely would have been a contingent of people who really don't believe he's a god. They're just there because they don't want to die. I mean, and maybe he doesn't care, but they're definitely, once he would have killed his brother, I think like he's already killed one brother already. He's killed a couple of brothers.
He did.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes,
Thank
he
you, Al.
did.
Yes.
Let's see what Sigurd has to say about that. Oh wait, no, we
Oh,
can't.
I was like, wait, he's dead.
Axe to the chest.
He did. Axe in the chest, he's dead. And so, God, he's already, exactly.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even come to mind. Did you guys think about that?
We
He already
forget
killed one
about it.
brother.
Yeah.
Right?
So-
How many more before, he's just like,
I
notch on his belt.
Yeah, it's definitely not beyond him, but I like the fact that at least he's being measured at this point in time, because it might generate more. Who knows? It might generate just more chaos and more disloyalty, and make them more more vulnerable to an attack, and maybe they might sympathize with the outsiders when they say Bjorn come in, the good king, the true king. He's not as evil and is not as violent as this other guy. So I think he's got to walk a nice line, a very narrow
thin
line.
Yeah. Ara is saying that 8 out of 10, 80% that Ivar will burn her just because he's getting bored. That is brutal. Damn. Okay, so let's move on to Wessex. You have some good news or info for us.
Oh, yes, I do. I got some important info for you guys. Hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there's no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about those pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel, and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air and give you a shout out. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yay! You guys are the best fans, especially on Vikings, because you guys are just awesome. You guys give us a lot of love. I'm going to say that again. You guys give us so much love, and we really, 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 really appreciate it. So we're going to give you guys the love back and make sure we're here every week to talk Vikings, right? Okay, so let's move on to Wessex. I've got a paper here, and in the name of James, by the way, James is working in San Diego. He wished he could have been here, and he will be back hopefully next week, right? And so this is in honor of James. That was completely missed. Next time I'm gonna dodge that knife throw, Steve.
I heard it hit something.
Yeah,
Not a young half black.
Okay, go with the knife again, Steve. Oh, you missed me.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Okay, let's move on to Wessex. Sorry, guys, we're having some fun. It's so much fun here with everybody. So this thing is starting off with Alfred and being buried underneath some floor. And I was just like, where's the cover? Are they just putting soil on top of him? Is he going to rot underneath the stones? Is it going to start smelling bad in church? Like, what is happening?
Yeah. And I mean, it was just so bizarre, too. Forgive me if I'm skipping too far ahead, but like when the king comes in, he's like, what's going on? I'm like, what is this?
No, you're exactly spot on, Al.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what happened. He comes in, he's like, my God, you've awakened. Like after your sleep, Prince Beauty. He walks in like, just after a long night out or something, and he doesn't know what's going on. And it's like, who's this beautiful burial for? And obviously they tell him it's his brother. Yeah. And then Judith's, like, and Adriadne said this. Like, I started watching the episode, Adriadne, I think you started watching a little bit before me, and you're like 20 minutes in, you're already sick of Judith. I mean, she's just like spewing it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing about the Judith, and this is a good point. As a mother, terrible mom, bad mom, don't kill your other son. But is she the essence of what she's saying? To solidify her son, who is king, to solidify his power, is she showing him how to make those decisions, those hard decisions that he needs to make,
and doing it for him,
and doing it for him, maybe teaching him,
setting an example.
Yeah, setting an example. Like, you can't have emotions like everybody else. So basically, we hate her for being the bad guy, or for being the bad girl. We'll say the bad guy, but she's just doing what needs to be done.
She was doing the kingly thing, the whole thing that she spewed, and she was like, "Oh, it was so awful. He collapsed." Bullshit. We all know what happened. You killed him. And so now, just before they talk to you, well, I guess we can just jump into that, because just between that, she's sending the poor Aethelred's wife or girlfriend home, right?
Yeah, poor thing.
It's pretty harsh. So now that's another example of, well, let's just do the kingly thing here. So since your husband is dead, it's time to pack your bags and skedaddle.
And you know what? I think she's we haven't seen the last of her. She might have made another enemy. You know?
She definitely made another enemy, because she even called it out. So like, I know it's kind of weird that you're not that sad, really, and so broken that your son just died. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So I don't know what to think about that.
And she I mean, Judith, not that we ever expect her to do the compassionate thing, but if she wanted to be a fair queen's mother, oh, you can stay with us, you'll always be part of the family. No, she was like, get the heck out of here, get your bags and bounce.
She is cutthroat. She ain't gonna say stay as long as you want. We'll get through this together. No, your husband died yesterday, tomorrow you are on the street. Out, go back to your mother. So now this is where we get to Alfred and Judith. So this was kind of, I don't know what to make of this, really, and I would love to know what you guys in the live chat, throw it in there for me right now. What do you guys make of this whole Alfred Judith scene? Like, he's angry, acting like a child. She looks scared of him in the beginning, and then he's like telling basically that I killed your brother. He gets mad, but then she gives the whole spiel about being a king and doing the kingly thing, and that you need to be brutal to stay in power.
I think it was definitely something that he needed to hear, and we don't want to see. We like Alfred because he's kind of like I feel like he's like the stand-in for the audience. You know, he's intelligent, but he's not violent. You know, he still has his feelings and his emotions, but she's definitely turning him into that brutal king, which I guess ultimately you need to be. You know, and when you really think about it, you know, who knows? Maybe the minute he gets sick again, or the minute Alfred pisses off some nobles, then they get right back in Aethelred's ear again. You got to deal with that whole thing again. Can you trust him? You think you trust him, but can you really? I don't know, man. It's brutal. It's like that. It's like that whole Game of Thrones royalty thing. You got to off with the heads. Heads, spikes.
Damn, jeez, exactly.
That's the only way to be
juicy
sure.
as that sounds. Mark is saying, yeah, good scene. I really like the actor who plays Alfred, good actor. Jeff is saying Alfred will take her out eventually from what she has said. So Judith, saying that you think that Alfred is going to take out the mother. The mother kills the son, the brother kills the mother.
I like that.
That's kind of a wicked triangle. You guys are dark and deep, damn. But Jeff says it might backfire for her, the whole thing. Alfred sure had a lot of energy after being sick for so long. He really made a mess, Lollipop Girl. That is hilarious. Yes, I saw this. He was picking up the table, and there was like a split second where I feel like he couldn't lift it, and then it went up. So I feel like it was obviously a prop and whatever, but I think the table might have been.
He was just so angry. He was grieving.
So angry, but he also just woke up from like having eaten for like 7, however long he was in a coma for. So that is hilarious. Emily is saying Judith is a bad mother. You know what, Judith? Poisoning your own kid, I guess that accounts to being a
little bit
bad mother. I think you're underkilling it there. Is that a thing? Underkill?
I don't know. She won't win Mother of the Year.
She will not win Mother of the Year. That is for sure. No, she won't. All right. So, yes. So this whole scene is playing off. She's saying you have to do terrible things, and that kind of stuck with me. You have to do terrible things. She's not specific to what. Obviously, that she's speaking about her own actions. She's almost, and one of you guys said it here. She is justifying or trying to make herself feel better. I killed the one brother to save the other brother. And that's what you all said in the comment sections in the previous episode, in the comments afterwards. You said, well, that's why she's saving the one brother, by killing the other one. Do you think that's how it should have been?
I think, she's pragmatic, and she's walking it the way she talks it, and I think this is the way she thinks a king needs to be. And if we throw out all the sentimentality and all that stuff, really, when you think about it, if you're going to be king, I think it's the right decision. I would have been bummed that my mom did it. I would have been bummed that my mom did it. But Ethelred, yeah, man, you can't be sitting there plotting. Who knows what's going on with you? And if we send you away, who knows? You may probably join up with somebody else. So, man, let's poison him too. Your wife, pack her bags too. Let's get them all out of here.
She can be happy, glad she wasn't poisoned as well, just for not leaving in time. But so another thing here is like. Is something that I think is going to change Alfred, and it's going to change the course of this next 2 episodes, is her saying that you're feeling like a normal person. You're acting like a normal person. You have emotions like a normal person. You are not a normal person. You're a king. So she's completely separating him like an entity, almost like Ivar as a god, right? Like, that's ridiculous. You can't go through life like that. You won't be sane. You'll be suspicious and you'll go crazy. If you have to look over your back the whole time. I don't think that's the right advice, I guess.
But I think her goal is to toughen him up, though. And I think he's hardening a little bit, so he'll be able to make these like tough decisions, killing people. He'll be able to make those decisions, I think, a little bit easier.
Which brings us back. Do you want to be a king that's feared or a king that's loved? Right?
Yeah.
So it plays into both of these.
And guess what? Sometimes the kings that are loved, if they're not feared, they get killed. So sometimes, it's like, I'd rather be safe. Let's just be feared, okay? Let's just kill everybody.
Kill everybody. Nobody can be against us.
All this, I'd like to be loved and all that, but that means somebody's going to, you're going to think I'm a little too weak out there. I know this whole love thing. I like the love, but one of you is going to test me.
And he will hang by the rope for that. Yeah. So now these guys are, this non-stop attacks, all right? It's just like, I feel like it's just like, it's coming. These Vikings are really putting this Englishman to the test, okay? So we've got another Viking army approaching. Nothing to do with any of the Vikings that we've known so far.
Did they call them Danes? Is that what they?
Danes, okay. Danish Danes from Daneland, like I said last week, from Denmark. And so these guys are Norway, Denmark, but they're all Viking Scandinavia, right? And so he's saying, Alfred is like, okay, well, that doesn't matter, and they'll be in a few days. I've got 2,000 people. Now, from the battle scenes that I've seen, and the amount of death and the amount of people, 2,000 people, that doesn't really always look like thousands of people in the actual scene, but I can only imagine like how much it's supposed to be. I just didn't feel like 2,000 was it. Like 300 ships.
Yeah.
We
didn't see all the guys in the background, with spears and hiding in the trees. And
stuff. All the things. But think about it. 300 ships, 20 people, per ship.
Yeah.
What's the math there?
Yeah.
6,000, huh?
Yeah. Good, but good point. Do you think this whole thing, people like, leveraging their power. When Hvitser's like, okay, if Alfred, if you want me to help defend you, you got to make me head of your army. Like, that's a huge thing, right?
Well, he's wiggling his way in there. So not only is he now becoming Christian, he's got safe haven there. Now he's becoming the head of the army. Isn't it the second most powerful position that there is?
That's got to be. And I think that's
Or
a bit
close
too.
to.
I think that would be a bit too fast for him. I think there would definitely be a lot of outcry, from the lords and from his own military, maybe.
From the other, because he's very confident in his commanders and all that kind of stuff. But let's get real here.
Yeah.
I think, regardless of the outcry, it's black and white. You make it. There's only one outcome. You either die or you live. You either stay in power or you're not. So you either make me commander, and we win, or you don't. So you can be angry. You guys can retaliate and say say your point of view and say your opinion. But in the end, if it doesn't happen, then everybody is going to eat shit.
Then let me ask you a question. What if Alfred takes a more measured, kind of like what do you call it? In the
Approach?
the middle path, yeah, where he's like, okay, maybe I won't make you head. I'll make you if this goes well, I'll make you the head right now, advisor,
Yeah.
or maybe I'll let you command half of them. Or is it kind of like an all or nothing? Is Hvitser like, if you don't give me total control
so
instead of
that's the
partial
thing.
control, then does he sabotage them? Does he make
That's
them
the
lose?
thing. It's an ultimatum, right?
Yeah,
It's
okay.
it's an ultimatum. Exactly. That's an excellent point, Al. It's an ultimatum. So yeah, in one end it's black and white, like either you die or you're not. So make me, commander or not. But then in the other end is exactly that. If he doesn't say half of the army, and I don't think he would have taken it because he's got a hold, because he's got this opportunity, this leverage.
He's got him where he wants him.
He got him where he wants him, and why wouldn't you want to up yourself? It's the same as Rollo, like making up in the France, and now the rest of the Ragnars are in the Lothbroks are up in England, and next thing you know, he's king.
There you go.
You know,
There you go.
But you never know what's going to happen in this show.
Good example.
And so Ubber's going to be head of the army, obviously. Early prediction. Not allowed to do that. Not early. I'm going to tell you guys my predictions in the predictions.
Okay.
Okay. So that's about it. So
Did we talk about Iceland yet?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that
Okay.
now. Yeah, we're getting to Iceland. Guys, so we've got Mark saying, yes, I love that, that as well as they became friends like Ragnar and Athelstan. Score. All right, so I don't know, I guess I missed the whole storyline. Let's just move on to Iceland while I catch up on what's going on there in the live chat. All right, so Iceland is, we've been waiting for this for a very, very long time.
Woo.
Like, you guys have been calling it out. You have been saying, I'm bored. Like, you guys have been saying, I fast forward through the Iceland parts. And fair enough, right? But is this Michael Hirst's trick? Is he like drawing us out and then wham, like shit just goes down?
I think he definitely did. He kind of dangled this whole thing of like, well, people can change and they'll be reunified again. So he was definitely playing with our emotions.
Yeah, absolutely playing with our emotions. Now, these guys are emotionally trudging through the snow. Once again, I always said it with James last week as well. If every scene is they're just trudging through snow, it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
To the bad settlement. These guys come in there. A leaking roof is an understatement. I don't even think there is a roof. Okay, it's just raining into this little.
It's just snow, it's rain and bog and mud and rain and mud and rain and mud. Yeah, it's.
And Gittel, James said last week.
Is that how you say his name?
Gittel.
Hettel. Okay.
Gittel.
Hettel.
We'll I think everybody's got their own unique way
Okay.
to say that. But so yes, so at first it's all good, right? So we're good. We're like you guys. We've all changed. Floki was right. Everybody's right. This is all good. Yes, thank you, Steve. That was amazing. Floki is right. And then, oh my God, what the f? And I'm sorry, but I predicted this.
Did you?
I said this.
Nice.
And I need a thumbs up for that, because I really did, okay? That's the one prediction in 5 seasons that's come true.
All right,
and I
man.
can't believe it, because I didn't actually think
Okay.
it was going to happen.
Good
But
call,
yeah,
man. Good call.
yeah, good call.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was a trap. And so they're saying they planned it so long. And they're obviously calling out the grandma, and they just to ruffle the feathers a bit. And then it just starts slitting throats.
Ah, man, it's just like a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath, and yeah, I mean, I didn't think they were gonna kill Helgi too, but they killed Helgi too.
They killed all of them. They called Splat. What's going? Oh shit!
We had some lightning in there too.
Lightning in there. Oh,
yeah.
And so, thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, God, guys.
So, yeah, they
Everybody did, but they didn't kill Floki, and I'm kind of wondering why.
Interesting.
Why did they not kill Floki? Floki's this new seer, you guys are saying maybe it's the new seer. Maybe it's just not really part of the whole battle between these two families.
Right. I think for all of Hetzel, for all of his anger and want for revenge, clearly he knows that Floki is not an enemy. But I'm like you. I mean, if somebody's willing to go that far, why wouldn't he just say, "Oh, let's just take Floki out too"? Nobody's gonna get in my way. I just might as well lead everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, what's to stop him?
I mean, well, for one, he's a boat builder. If they don't have a boat, they're not leaving the island. So maybe that's a good reason.
There you go.
Floki, the boat
Keep
builder.
Floki
We need a boat.
Right.
But Helgi wasn't kept alive, and nobody else. Avon was dead, and everybody. And so the person that's obviously taking this the hardest is Helgi's
Odd, is that what you're saying?
odd wife.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
She's beautiful, and by the way, I'm just going to throw that out there. She is just sad as well that her own father, because this is Schettel's daughter. If I have this right, just call me out if it's not. But basically, the other camps, that's. And so she can't believe that her own father killed it. So what I was initially thinking is she's going to go kill the father of the rest of the people, but she doesn't.
And what about the fact that too that Floki was even telling Hetzel that Helgi, he loves your daughter. He's on your side.
Don't kill. He wasn't part of this at
partial
all.
to you. And he was like, yeah.
Maybe if he survives the night, maybe we can let him live. It will make us all feel better or something.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't work, and so now you're dead.
Yeah.
And so your daughter now is also dead. So I'm not gonna swear on the show anymore. Yeah. You just effed it up. You just messed it up.
What would make him think that his daughter would continue to want to live with him or love him as a father?
Maybe she didn't think that he thought that she loved him as much as he thought
Obviously
that she
not.
loved him.
Clearly not.
You're right.
Man,
maybe if Hetzel let his daughter know that he also is a WWE superstar in real life, named the Edge.
Is that him?
Is our viewers seeing that right now?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, so
Just throwing that out there.
That is awesome. Okay, so he is a WWE wrestler, if I have that right.
Edge. Yeah.
What's his name?
Edge.
Edge,
Okay.
the Edge. And he's in Vikings? I'm going to become
Otherwise
a
known
WWE
as Adam Copeland.
Nice.
Adam Copeland. What a legend.
Well, if that was your dad, you kind of
That's
side
awesome.
with him.
And so no wonder he's still alive.
Yeah.
For how long, we'll see. Because Floki is still in the picture. And so, the scene ends up where Ard jumps off very sad the cliff, which looks like something out of Lord of Rings.
Exactly.
That the whole place. And that is the end of the episode. So let's get to predictions. Nothing? Okay, let's get I was waiting for some kind of lighting and... Oh, here we go. Oh, what's that? No? Okay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All caught up now, guys.
I was like, thanks, Steve, for... I mean, what are you doing back there? Come on, dude. Steve is amazing. I'm kidding. Steve is so on it. It's ridiculous. The show would be nothing without you. Thank you, Steve. Okay, predictions. What do you think is going to happen? We've got 3 episodes left before the final season, which is, by the way, we found out today that's going to get cancelled.
Oh, yeah. After season 6,
After
right?
season 6. But don't worry, we are going to be here in the studio with you guys up until 2020.
To the bitter end.
To the bitter end, up into the year 2020, because that's until when these episodes are going to go. So, for this next 3 episodes, your prediction.
So, we know that Hvitsek must leave Thor, and he's been basically forced to go make these treaties on behalf of Ivar. Not only is going to go out, and I think he's going to consolidate his power with these people who Ivar directed him to. I forget the name of the people he directed him to, but I'd like to see him come back around and make a peace treaty with Bjorn and Harold too, and they all gang up and take Ivar out.
Well, I think all of us would love
We'd all love that.
That would be one massive battle, especially like Ivar's like posse and his fighters with their weird helmets and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
that's
that. That's
awesome.
long-term
play.
No,
Maybe
but that's
next
awesome.
season.
No, maybe not. That shit's happening. We've got 3 episodes left. That's a lot can happen, I'm gonna call out one of our fans, Dennis Kildegard. Again, he's a historian professor from I think it's Sweden or Norway, somewhere in Scandinavia. But he gave a prediction, and I'm gonna call this out for him. And he said that Bjorn is gonna go back. I don't know if this is going to happen, but Bjorn is going to go back. He's going to defeat Ivar, but Ivar is not going to die. Ivar is going to flee to Russia, Yes, where he's going to become friends or befriend the king over there and make an alliance with them. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I have heard a lot of talk about this whole storyline in season 6 moving towards Russia in the actual history show that we're watching.
Okay.
So that is Dennis's prediction.
Nice.
My prediction is that Bjorn is going to kill King Harald.
Woo!
That's all I have for you
Hot
guys.
take right there,
Hot
man.
take for you
Hot
guys.
take.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Vikings, Season 5, Episode 17. My name is Jaco Winnings. If you guys love wine, if you drink wine, if you're into wine, go to grapeunknown.com. There's a free wine course on there for you. You can drink wine with me. We have live tastings every
Nice.
month. And it's for beginners. So if you're new to wine, this is where you need to be. My name is Jaco, and I'm joined with my graceful host.
Hey everybody, Al Grag. You can find me on IG at alg_Jamaica House Film. We got a screening coming up in February too, so follow along.
Awesome. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Much love. Mwah!
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.